cause I'm icy, wifey. Haters wanna fight me. Never been the one get RP up on a whitey. Keep a rich nigga, 8-figure, that's my type. That's my type, yeah, that's my type. Yeah. You got a itty bitty waist, pretty in the face. Never let a broke nigga take you on a date.
That my best friend, she a real bad bitch, got her own money. She don't need no nigga.
Rapper, athlete, I need both of them. Don't you ask me, just get both of them.
Ooh, got that 90. Big bag, I'ma fill it up with money.
They talk about pretty privilege, but they don't talk about pretty punishment.
What if the rapper who turned Icy Girl into a global movement at just 23 years old,
Ask me if I'm rolling with some Gucci, bitch, I might be. It's very unlikely, my wrist ain't looking icy.
who got a full scholarship to USC while being called a Nepo baby despite her mom being 17 when she had her, who literally slept on couches and lived on noodles growing up in poverty?
God gave me in those moments when I was writing that in my Craigslist room.
Yeah.
I had a love couch and a mattress. That's it. But I mean, it was cool because cleaning up was really fast.
Who shaved her head in 2024 to jumpstart a spiritual awakening.
I've had access to my higher self, and that gave me a whole new experience. And when I did that, I wanted to start fresh. And I did my research, and I heard or I read that hair holds a lot of energy. So it's essentially the metamorphosis of Saweetie and Diamante.
Who went to Bali alone for 9 days on a healing retreat, who broke up with YG months after he said "I love you" on stage at Rolling Loud.
LA, I love you. Shout out to my pretty. That moment is a little spotty because anytime I'm on stage, I'm just in the moment. I kind of realize what happens after the moment through like videos and photos.
Who had to lawyer up in October 2025 against false allegations from someone named Maybach May, who's been teasing her debut album Pretty Music for years because she refuses to release it until it's her truth, who just collaborated with K-pop group Twice on Hella Pressure in late 2025.
I need that.
Who told USC students her goal is to become a billionaire, who recently spoke out on Revolt TV about how the industry talks about pretty privilege but never mentions pretty punishment, and who at 31 is finally ready to show the world that Diamante Harper, the biracial girl from the Bay Area who felt like she belonged nowhere, has layers y'all haven't even seen yet.
Ooh, all that drama and that gossip, you could miss me. Ooh, how the hell a broke nigga try to fix me?
Born Diamante Kiava, Valentine Harper Saweetie grew up between worlds. Her mother was Filipino and Chinese. Her father was black. She was born when her mom was just 17 years old.
Well, my parents instilled like, working hard, doing your chores, getting good grades, and stand on it and do the dishes. Like I was like really young. They had me in the kitchen real early.
But behind the scenes, life wasn't the picture-perfect image people assumed. Middle school became Saweetie's identity crisis.
It was almost like an identity crisis for me. Because it's just
who am I?
Yeah, who am I? Why don't these people look different than me? They act different. They talk different. It really just made me more introverted.
The pressure of being biracial hit hard.
And it's really hard when neither community wants to claim you.
Is that what you experienced?
Yeah, that's what I felt at a really young age.
Sports became Saweetie's salvation.
My mom forced me to go to volleyball tryouts. I'm like, I don't want to go. She was like, just try it. She's a scary woman. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go try out. But I'm really happy.
But Saweetie was also writing constantly.
I was writing poetry in middle school because I didn't know how to express myself. So that was the only way I could get my thoughts out. But in high school is when I really fell in love with it.
High school changed everything.
I had LimeWire. And that's where I really discovered Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj. And their mixtape era was just so crazy. So it really made me realize that rap.
Her parents divorced early. Saweetie never saw them together.
Household as both of my parents. And I think that it wasn't until I saw a household with both parents in them that I realized that my situation was normal. So I'm just like, why aren't my parents at the same home?
Still, her parents shaped her, and they pushed her hard.
My dad, he was big on the oldies, R&B, hip hop, rap. And then my mom, she listened to alternative, also hip hop too. But she was also into indie rock and roll.
By the time Saweetie got to San Diego State, then transferred to USC, she was a certified overachiever.
And essentially what made me a very well-rounded student was the accolades that I had accomplished there.
One of those accolades? Trying to become USC's first female mascot.
I was like, you know what? I want to be the mascot. And I was the first woman that ever tried out to be the mascot. I made the front of the newspaper because I had made it down to like the final 2, but they ended up going with a guy. Yeah.
She also joined USC's first ever Pacific Islander drill team. But the biggest move? Icy Girl dropped in 2017. Saweetie was 23 years old. The track, built on a sample of Kia's My Neck, My Back, went viral.
With my release of Icy Girl, it almost broke me into the industry instantaneously. To where it went from I'm just doing it for fun to now I'm being compared to all these people to now I'm being critiqued, and it's just like, wait, hold on, I just got here.
But Hollywood doesn't do breaks.
You know, I'm very competitive. So if I'm not performing at a level I feel like I should be performing at, I'm taking the pressure that's given to me externally, and then it becomes internal pressure because I'm internalizing all of these emotions.
And here's where it gets real. On Revolt TV, Saweetie addressed something nobody talks about.
I saw it on TikTok. They were like, they talk about pretty privilege, but they don't talk about pretty punishment. There's been so many times I've just been counted out, and I know that it's behind animosity. I know it's because of a hidden agenda, but it makes me work harder.
It's the double-edged sword of being beautiful and talented in an industry that wants to put you in a box. When you're attractive, people assume everything came easy. They don't want to acknowledge the work. They minimize your talent. They question your intelligence. They assume you're just a pretty face with no substance.
I'm a glass, no snitch. Get the Rex. Take a trip, go relax.
The scrutiny became suffocating.
In the beginning of my career, I was so like just happy to be like anywhere being interviewed. So I was very like green, and I would just be super honest with my answers and just, like, my name is Saweetie. I'm the Icy Girl. But there'd be so many times where it's just like I thought that I was having a cool, intimate moment with like a platform or an interviewer, and they put out a soundbite that creates a bad narrative about myself.
Social media made it worse.
I just delete that app.
You do? You shut it down?
You have to, because it's tempting and it's habitual to like wake up and just click on it, and then you're reminded, oh, this is what they're talking about.
Saweetie developed a rule, the 5-minute test.
If I want to respond to something, I give myself a 5-minute timer.
Okay.
And if I still feel intensely about that reply, then I'll post it.
By 2019, My Type, sampling P.D. Pablo's Freak Elite, cemented Saweetie as a hitmaker.
Hey, let's go now. Real nigga, 8-figure, that's my type. That's my type, nigga, that's my type.
But internally, she was struggling.
Where I felt like my brand was bigger than my music. And I love music. Like, music played a really important part in my childhood. It was my freedom of expression. It was therapy. It was an art that I felt like belonged to me.
She took time to reset.
Some people were kind of confused, like, oh, she just disappeared. No, I had to go reevaluate.
Then came 2020's Tap In, sampling Too Short's Blow the Whistle. The song dominated. But Saweetie was still wrestling with who she was.
One day, one of my friends were like, you know why I love you? It's because you're delusional, but everything you say you're going to do, you actually do it.
But the Nepo baby accusations stung.
The reason why I wanted to speak about it is because I was really confused at the negativity that I was starting to receive because I told my truth of struggle. And I think that's when I just had to put my foot down, you know?
The truth? Saweetie wasn't handed anything.
I think I'm not only in a vulnerable place with just my artistry, but just with myself. So emotions that I suppressed for so long, like when they pop up, I'm like, hold on.
Her parents have since apologized.
They had to do whatever they had to do to support me, but I think it was just time and attention. My mom tells me now when she sees like little girls, she sees how much attention they need.
This is what people don't understand when they talk about pretty privilege. They see the success now. They don't see the poverty, the couches, the noodles, the biracial girl who didn't fit in anywhere, the athlete who had to prove herself, the scholarship student who wasn't handed anything, the rapper who got minimized because she's beautiful. In 2024, Saweetie did something drastic. She shaved her head.
My journey of, you can call it a spiritual awakening, I felt like I had already began that, but it really made me like self-reflect and just reevaluate my relationships with all people, romantically.
Then she went to Bali alone.
Going to Bali, I was actually supposed to go on vacation for my birthday, but I didn't want to go on any vacation. I wanted to go on a women's like self retreat, and I couldn't find it. So I'm gonna tap in with you after this, and I'd love to get the information.
What she discovered changed her.
But if you're out here
without a role model, a big sister, a big brother, or somebody guiding you, I feel like sometimes mistakes are made, but you do have to forgive yourself.
The place was all bamboo, lukewarm water, no internet for 9 days. Around this time, Saweetie was also dating rapper YG. They'd been together since 2023. At Rolling Loud, he said, "I love you" to her on stage.
It's a little spotty because anytime I'm on stage, I'm just in the moment. And I kind of realize what happens after the moment through like videos and photos. So I think I was just so happy to be in front of like the crowd that way.
But by early 2024, they'd broken up.
As I get older, if a mistake is able to be fixed, I'm open to addressing the situation and hearing both sides separately and not talking over each other.
Dating in the public eye has been brutal.
The media announces the relationship before I do. You know, even when normal people date. And to me, like, I'm still a normal person, but I do have that.
Her type? But energy can be tricky.
Do we mesh? Are we compatible? Like, can I spend like time with you and can we have quiet moments? You know?
In 2024, Saweetie dropped Nani.
Ooh, got that nani, nani, nani. How she walk through swaying that body.
In homage to Foxy Brown's Il Na Na.
You know what? I need to start writing these moments down because when they happen, I'm like, wow, this was a great moment. But when I'm put on the pressure to like answer in the moment, like my mind goes blank and I'm like, girl, what is wrong with you?
Foxy herself co-signed.
Yeah, every time she DMs me, I kind of scream.
The song addressed years of negativity.
And I think that's what made Nani so special because when I had previewed it, there was just so much love and positivity around it. So I was like, thank you, God.
But the hate never fully stopped. One of her best freestyles came from that pain.
And everybody was kind of just minimizing the song to a simple rhyme. And I was like, hold on. Like, I know y'all saw my car raps. I know y'all saw what I've done before, but y'all just choose not to acknowledge it. So that's when Pretty Bitch Freestyle came out.
Saweetie's net worth is estimated around $4 million as of late 2023/early 2024, stemming from hit songs, lucrative endorsements, like with Morphe, McDonald's, and Business. In late 2025, Saweetie dropped Boffum and collaborated with K-pop group Twice on Hella Pressure. But October 2025 brought drama when someone named Maybach May made false allegations against Saweetie. She shut it down immediately, calling the claims defamatory and involving lawyers. Through it all, Saweetie has been working on Pretty Bitch Music, her long-awaited debut album.
In my heart, Pretty Bitch Music, just like Icy and just like the other terms that I've used, I feel like it's more of a lifestyle. I really want it to be the premise for the public messaging of the project.
Why the delay? She's no longer striving for perfection.
At first, I was frustrated with myself because I kept giving deadlines, I kept giving dates that I wasn't able to meet. I could have met them, but I don't think the music wasn't composed in the way that I wanted it to be.
Saweetie is also working on new music that showcases her singing.
One thing that's the most surprising for people who I play, the songs that I play from my album, what surprises a lot of people is for some of the hooks, I'm singing. So I'll stop the record or the song will end and they'll be like, oh, who's that?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's me. So
she's working with producers Jay White and John Baptiste.
Super cool too.
Yeah.
And we was both raised in the church, so we be having like a lot of church jokes that we be.
Her vision for the future? Acting and business. Speaking at USC, Saweetie told students her goal is to become a billionaire. She's hinting at new tours, possibly including Australia. On legacy and faith, Saweetie finds guidance in the Bible app.
When I get super stressed out, I go on my Bible app and they have like lessons attached to different emotions that you're feeling. And I click the emotion and then I read like the scriptures and like the devotional lesson.
What does she pray for most? Her grandparents are pastors. At 13, a prophet visited their church.
Actually prophesied that I would have a music career.
Wow.
And that's when I was writing poetry. And I was like, I want to be a hairstylist. And I was like, what is she talking about?
Today, Saweetie is in her healing era.
And nothing can replace that.
And nothing can replace that.
She's learned to listen.
But I be taking notes, so I'll take notes in my phone of things I don't agree with, and then I'll bring it up later. When it's my turn to speak.
Her relationship with her parents has evolved.
I've gotten to a place where I'm comfortable in like my adulthood and womanhood to just tell her everything now. So hearing her feedback is really fun. Because at first I was like kind of uncomfortable.
How does she describe herself?
You know when the light reflects through glass and you see all those colors, and if it hits it right, you'll see a little bit of like diamonds. That's what I think of when I think of myself.
From the biracial girl who felt like she belonged nowhere, to the broke college student making pesto pasta for dance lessons, to the rapper who broke the internet with Icy Girl, to the woman who went to Bali alone to heal, to the artist who's experienced both pretty privilege and pretty punishment her entire career, to the woman finally ready to release pretty music in 2025 on her own terms. Saweetie proves that being a pretty bitch isn't about perfection. It's about owning your truth even when it's messy, especially when it's messy. It's about working twice as hard when the world counts you out because of hidden agendas and animosity. It's about turning pretty punishment into power. And that truth? It's a billion-dollar story still being written. Ventures, with reports citing her successful music career and smart brand deals as key drivers of her wealth.